Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be studying today is SCP-166. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-166 can be kept safely in a minimal security environment. As SCP-166 is housed in a standard Class B suite at Site-17, with the following alterations. The adjacent suite has been redesignated into a local observation post. Translucent acrylic panels have been placed in the approach corridor and staging area to prevent direct line of sight into the containment suite from the exterior hallway. Warning signs have been placed throughout the containment area indicating that no male personnel are permitted in the area. Reasonable requests for personal items and modifications to the containment suite may be granted upon approval by a Level 4 or higher authority. To date, SCP-166 has requested a copy of the Holy Bible due a Remus Challoner revision. Granted. A Catholic Rosary. Granted. Access to a Catholic priest for confession, Mass, and other sacraments. Denied. Various books and magazines, mostly religious in nature. Granted, pending review and approval of contents. A telephone with which to contact the abbess of the convent in Cornwall, England. Granted, SCP-166 is to be allowed 1 hour of telephone time a week to this phone number only. SCP-166 is generally content to remain in her quarters, as long as she is provided with entertainment in the form of religious materials, books, television, and art supplies. In return for her cooperation in her own confinement, SCP-166 is to be allowed a 12-hour excursion away from Site-17 to an adjacent uninhabited island no more than once per month. Limited Release Protocol 19A is observed in these cases, with the added restriction that no male personnel are to be allowed within 500 meters of SCP-166 during transport, and no male personnel are to be allowed on the island during her stay. As even the lightest clothing tends to cause pressure ulcers, bed sores, within 45 minutes of constant wear, SCP-166 is allowed to go nude for medical purposes. Garments and bed linens are to be made of long staple cotton and should be changed weekly. Male staff are forbidden from viewing or entering the direct vicinity of SCP-166. Violation of this order will result in immediate disciplinary review and possible termination. At least one female staff member must remain in adjacent observation room at all times and maintain direct visual observation of SCP-166 through viewing slits or closed-circuit television. In order to minimize the risk of accidental exposure, all cameras and windows shall be equipped with translucent filters with at least 50% exclusion of detail. No permanent record shall be kept of any photographic evidence of SCP-166's appearance. SCP-166 requires no sustenance, save approximately 1 cc of human semen, administered orally on a weekly basis. Arrangements have been made with a local sperm bank for this purpose. On-site procurement will be carried out in emergencies only. Despite the fact that SCP-166 requires no other sustenance, the subject can consume normal human food and does do so. Due to SCP-166's many health issues, medical evaluations should be carried out at least once per week. Description: SCP-166 appears to be a female human in her late teens, of average height and slender build. Medical and physiological analysis indicates several deviations from the baseline human norms, including accelerated hair growth, approximately 20 centimeters per month, vulnerability to airborne particulate matter such as cigarette smoke and aerosols, which can induce symptoms similar to an acute asthma attack, increased sensitivity to pressure ulcers, and alterations in dietary requirements. SCP-166 is noted for her unusual effect upon human males. Upon establishing visual contact with SCP-166, 100% of human males tested attempted immediate sexual contact, regardless of their normal sexual orientation. In approximately 70% of these test subjects, the impulse faded after being removed from SCP-166's presence. In 30% of these cases, however, the desire turned into obsession, resulting in violent attempts to gain access to SCP-166. Class A amnestics were efficacious in 43% of these cases. The remainder required termination. SCP-166's effect on males causes her no small amount of distress, not least due to her desire to follow a monistic life based on the principles of chastity, poverty, and obedience. For this reason, and others, contact between her and any human male is strictly prohibited. Addendum 166-A. Circumstances of retrieval. SCP-166 was originally retrieved from a convent in Cornwall, England. According to the nuns, she had originally been delivered to the convent by a person of indistinguishable features, who claimed that she was the offspring of an elder creature of great power, and provided instructions for her care. All attempts to locate the mother have been unsuccessful to date. SCP-166 was raised by nuns in a cloistered environment until a young man, Subject A, who sneaked into the convent to visit one of the novices, accidentally caught sight of her. 3 days later, Subject A became violent and attacked the convent, attempting to gain access to SCP-166. Subject A proceeded to kill one nun and severely injure 3 others before being neutralized by force. A Foundation operative consulting with a local priest regarding an unrelated matter heard of the incident and proceeded to the scene. When he too became enamored, the operative immediately cut off contact, placed himself into confinement, and requested a female operative from command to take over the retrieval operation. Agent Beatrix Maddox made contact with the Mother Abbess shortly afterward, negotiating the transfer of SCP-166 to Foundation facilities for containment and research. Addendum 166-E. Text of a letter. Unknown origins. Placed in SCP-166's suite on... Dear... I first met your mother when she was a girl. She had hooves for feet and starlight in her eyes. She was beauty and nature, and I killed her with my own 2 hands. Eden isn't a place, it's a state of being. They wanted to take us back to it. I stopped them. I took paradise away from us for a second time. I have never regretted my actions on that day, except one, that when you first met me on that day, you saw your father put a bullet into the head of your mother. I make no excuses, only explanation. I hope you understand why I did what I did. I hope you forgive me. I love you. I wish I could have done more for you. The best I could do was leave you in the hands of kind and loving people and hope they would raise you in my place. From what I've seen, they did well. I'm sorry you couldn't stay with them. I'm sorry they've brought you to this place. I promise to do my best to make sure your stay here is pleasant. I promise to keep you safe. Happy 16th birthday, honey. Your father. And that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye. I would like to give a special thank you to Desmond Haskins, Andre Bichert, Dr. Mortis, Cody Tench, Pierce M. Hamlin, Psi-7 Actual, Rebellion Fidelius, and Tyver Ball. If you would like a personalized thank you at the end of each of my videos, and some other cool stuff as well, visit patreon.com/thevogan. Thank you.